Gina Gogean of Romania. She has won 16 world and Olympic medals. No Romanian has won the women's all-around in 10 years, and Gina is hoping to change that in this, her final major competition.
A spus goodbye.
It would be hard to say goodbye, but with the revised code of points, it's too difficult for me to learn new moves. But I hope the World Championships will be a good souvenir. I'll keep my head high, as Nadia did in her last competition.
Everyone wants to go out on top, and why not after a fabulous career?
This is going to be a huge test for her. This is the only event that could stand in her way of an all-around medal. She's only trained for the bars for 1 month. She hadn't planned on competing on them, and they talked her into doing it.
She hates the bars. Her favorite events are vault and floor. She said, I hate this event.
And blew it in the team, scored only an 8-1, so she needs to just get through and survive this event. If she can just get a decent score, then she's on her way. So far, this is much better. All right, conservative routine, but she made it.
She made it through. And Maloney's second vault, 9.475 for a 9.443 average.
You know, the Romanians have been criticized here for not showing much emotion. You may not be able to tell it here, but she's a happy young lady.
We'll take your word for it. 9.375 for Gogean, but Yelena Produnova leads after the first rotation. Khorkina is in 6th, Gogean 12th. Back with much more right after this. Welcome back, everyone, as we await the second rotation. Unfortunately, we will not see Lilia Podkopaeva of Ukraine. The reigning European, world, and Olympic champion has been hampered by a chronic ankle injury. She has been forced to sit out these championships, which makes her story even more compelling. A lifetime of sacrifice, determination, and passion. Her journey, a reflection of her country's people. After almost 1,000 years of outside dominance, Ukraine now struggles to create its own identity. Freedom came with a price. In the wake of independence from Soviet rule, Ukraine's economy has deteriorated. In Lilia Podkopaeva, they have found hope, a symbol of devotion and triumph, a champion. Lilia has accepted her role and has put national pride before personal desire.
Before I became Olympic champion, I wanted to move to America. But now I would not be able to live there. Everyone knows me in the Ukraine, and I would be leaving my relatives and my country, which I love very much.
Lilia grew up with her mother, the sole provider for the family of 4. And while funds may have been scarce, love never was.
Most of the time, Lilia was being taken care of by her grandmother since I had to work. Lilia's grandmother meant the world to her. She was the one who introduced Lilia to gymnastics. She gave her soul to her, and with Lilia being the only granddaughter, they shared a special relationship.
3 days before leaving for the United States to prepare for the Atlanta Olympic Games, Lilia's grandmother died.
When I became Olympic champion and stood on the medal stand, I was thinking, this is for you, grandmother. I won this medal and this is for you. She used to say, oh Lord, I want so much to see my little granddaughter standing on the medal stand. If she would have lived only 30 days longer to see me there.
At the age of 19, Lilia seems to have accomplished it all. The 1995 world champion, the 96 European champion, and the 1996 Olympic all-around champion. And while injury has forced her to sit out of these championships, Lilia knows she must continue.
I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. I have always been in this environment and can't do without it now. This is my job. For about 4 years now, I earn a salary from the Ukrainian national team. This is what my family depends upon to live. I help my mother, my brother.
Accomplishments have not changed Lilia. She still lives in a dorm room at the sports complex in Kiev, the only facility in Ukraine that provides top international level training. After 5 years, Kiev has become her home. Her friends are here, her life is here. More than 300 miles from the bleak landscape of her hometown Donetsk and her mother.
She has not lived here since she was 11 years old. Now she is growing up without me being nearby, and I miss it. I miss my family very, very much, but when I come home, 1 week is enough. I've already got used to the life by myself. All of my life has been here in Kiev.
Her future is a next competition. The desire to remain on top hasn't faded. A desire and a duty that still keeps her far, far from her family.
Sometimes I sit by the window. It's raining outside. The roads are flooded. And I think how nice it would be if the whole family came together here. It would be warm and cozy and nice. I love this weather so much because it's when the whole family comes together under one roof. But one of us is always away.
It's one thing to be so far away from home and be able to compete, and another to have to sit out like this.
Well, it's certainly easy to see why she's one of the most popular gymnasts in the world, not only because of her athleticism, but when you listen to her mother, you can understand where she gets her elegance and charm as well.
That's right. Now Khorkina on the floor.
Truly the best part of this floor exercise routine is the choreography. This is a new routine for her. It's beautifully choreographed and very, very ingenious. She works the code to the mat. She has found the elements that she does well that give her the bonus points, and usually the routine is worth a 10. So just sit back and admire the choreography. It's truly lovely. Truly a lovely routine, but the judges are going to see the tiny stumbles at the end of those two tumbling runs. It's hard to overlook them.
Again, she's not as solid as we've seen her earlier in this competition.
But it's interesting to see Khorkina have a miss. She's so elegant and dances through it. All of a sudden she's into a pose and you're kind of wondering, did she miss or did she not? It's almost a mirage. But the judges don't get to see it in slow motion.
This is a very clever combination because right here, as soon as she lands, she does what they call a full twisting Shushanova, invented by the great former Soviet champion Yelena Shushanova, and that combination of elements earns her a lot of bonus points.
A lot of points indeed. 9-6-7-5. She will definitely move up in the standings. The leader after the first rotation, Yelena Produnova of Russia. Her first vault, 9-3-5. This is her second.
This vault is a Phelps. It's worth a 9.8, and you'll see that same position briefly, that front layout position. See if she can get in a little prettier position on this one. A little better. I think the judges are going to like it because there's power behind it, but there were really some deductions in form.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll get to Produnova's score.